Hi everyone. Now we are going to discuss about hepatitis A, which is also called as infectious jaundice, which is one of the food and waterborne disease. So this hepatitis A is a subacute viral disease, and the term viral hepatitis, the hepatitis refers to the primary infection to our liver by any one of the heterogeneous group of hepatitis virus, which consists of type A, type B, type C, type D, type E, and G, out of which we are having this infectious jaundice by the type A. Based on the epidemiological and clinical criteria, there were two types of viral hepatitis had been recognized for long. That is, type 1 hepatitis, which is also called as infectious hepatitis or infectious jaundice. And this type A is going to occur sporadically or in epidemics, mainly affecting children and young adults. And these are going to be transmitted by fecal oral route transmission. Whereas coming to type B or serum hepatitis, or we also call this as transfusion hepatitis or serum jaundice. So it is being seen among persons receiving blood transfusion or serum inoculation. That's why we call this as transfusion hepatitis. So then coming to the causative agent, the causative agent of type A hepatitis is also known as hepatitis A virus, simply HAV. This HAV belongs to the family called Picornaviridae, and this is going to have about 27 nanometer to 32 nanometer spherical particle with the icosahedral symmetry, and it contains a single stranded linear single stranded RNA genome, and it is enveloped by a virus. That is, it is not going to be of a enveloped virus. So whereas the other, for example, take the rabies or the influenza, these are having some sort of envelope surrounding them, so those are called as enveloped virus, and this is going to be an unenveloped or non-enveloped virus. There is no envelope surrounding this virus, and it was first provisionally classified as enterovirus 72, but based on the differences in nucleotide and amino acid sequences, it is assigned to new picornavirus genus called as hepatovirus. Only one serotype is known, and the HIV, sorry, not have HAV, that is hepatitis A virus, is going to be resistant to inactivation by the heating at 60 degrees centigrade for 1 hour and at acid pH at 3. But it is inactivated by boiling for 1 minute, and if it is going to be treated with a chlorine of having 1 ppm for 30 minutes, then this is going to be inactivated. But generally it is not going to be inactivated at 60 degrees and the pH at 3, where our stomach pH is going to be of around 2 to 3. That's the reason why if the food is going to have the contamination with this HAV, that is hepatitis A virus, obviously we are getting infection. Then this HAV can be grown, that is hepatitis A virus can be grown in some human and semen cell cultures, and is the only human hepatitis virus which can be cultivated in vitro. So that means out of the cell we can cultivate, and even it can also be cloned. And then coming to the epidemiology, HAV is transmitted by the ingestion of contaminated food, water, or milk. That is, hepatitis A virus is going to be transmitted by the ingestion. That means the thing that you are going to take through the mouth, either with the contaminated food, water, or the milk. And the virus is shed in the feces. A common mode of transmission of the virus is through eating uncooked shellfish harvested from sewage contaminated water. So, this is a common mode of transmission. Then, the natural infection with hepatitis A virus is seen only in the humans, where we cannot find in other things. And it is going to be widespread throughout the world. And the outbreaks of type A hepatitis are common in the families and institutions where overcrowding and poor sanitation favor its spread. And the disease is common among children and young adults. Then coming to the pathogenesis, HAV is a self-limiting disease, that is hepatitis A virus is going to be of a self-limiting disease with an incubation period of 2 to 6 weeks. Once in the digestive system, the viruses multiply within the intestinal epithelium, so here, and enter the blood circulation, resulting in viremia. We know that if the virus is present in the blood, we call that as viremia. If bacteria is present, we call it as bacteremia. And this presence of viremia is going to be last for several weeks. Now from the blood circulation, the virus reaches to the liver, and then this is the place where this virus replication is going to be initiated, that is hepatocyte. This virus replication results in severe cytopathology, and severe liver function is significantly impaired. So here you are going to have the liver is going to be damaged. Now the virus reproduces in the liver and then enter the bile and released into the small intestine. This is why we are going to the feces is going to be of so much infectious. Okay, so this is all about the pathogenesis of virus replication and the process of how it is going to affect. And coming to the symptoms, the clinical symptoms last for 2 to 20 days, which is including anorexia, general malaise, nausea, diarrhea, fever, and chills. The hepatitis A virus can cause sudden severe infection of liver cells resulting in jaundice, that is yellowing of skin and eyes. So here you can see the difference. So this is a normal phase and here is the yellowishness. And this is going to have a very rarely a rapid fatal fulminating hepatitis may occur. Then coming to the laboratory diagnosis, the hepatitis A particles can be detected by immunoelectron microscopy in fecal samples of hepatitis A patients. Then this can also be detected in the liver, bile, stool, and blood by the techniques called RIA, that is radioimmunoassays, ELISA, then nucleic acid hybridization assays, and the PCR. And the detection of IgM antibodies to hepatitis A virus by ELISA and RIA is the method of choice for the diagnosis of hepatitis A. Then coming to the prevention and control of this hepatitis A virus, the control of infection is by simple hygienic measures, the sanitary disposal of excreta, and prevention of contamination of food and water. So if you follow these things, we can prevent this hepatitis A virus. And a kill, that means immunoglobulin has been used for many years mainly as post-exposure prophylaxis. A formalin inactivated or killed whole virus vaccine is available now to have in the preventive measure. And that vaccine is recommended mainly for high risk individuals such as travelers going to regions with high prevalence rates of hepatitis A. So this is all about the prevention and control. So we had gone through the causative agent of hepatitis A, then we had gone to the epidemiology, then pathogenesis and clinical features, that is symptoms. Then we had gone with the laboratory diagnosis and prevention and control. So that's all about the hepatitis A infection, which is also called as infectious hepatitis or infectious jaundice. Thank you.